Hello everyone, welcome to Spinning Iris and 3 brief book reviews. 3 good books. Spoiler free. As brief as I can. First one, Hiddensee by Gregory Maguire. I brought this up during a cataloging session. This is a tale of the once and future Nutcracker, which is quite true. It's not quite the story you might think it is. I remember looking at some Goodreads reviews and people being disappointed that it was not more about the Nutcracker, when in fact it really is about the Nutcracker. It's not necessarily about the actual toy, the actual little guy that goes crack, crack, crack. That's just a small fraction of what the story is about. It's more about the toy maker, a Herr Drosselmeyer. In the book, Dirk Drosselmeyer is our main character. And what's brilliant about what Gregory Maguire does with his character is starts off with Dirk as a young boy living in the forest with an old man and an old woman. And it sets some very, very cool fairy tale vibes right off the bat. And as you're reading it, you're thinking, oh, this is weird. Is this going to be the whole book? It's not. What's brilliant is we followed Dirk through his childhood, into his adolescence, to his young adulthood, to his later adulthood, into old age, and how his mind and the way he remembers things and sees things changes as time goes on, until he meets Clara, who is very much like he was when he was younger. There's a lot of interesting little twists and turns. Also, some interesting sexual undertones that I wasn't quite expecting. Not unpleasant, but just unexpected. I actually want to show you what's underneath this jacket. This jacket is beautiful, but I want to show you the picture that's underneath. So if you don't like nutcrackers, or if you're afraid of dolls, just kind of cover your eyes for 5 seconds. Okay? Are you ready? Cover your eyes. Now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bless this beautiful cover. This is definitely in keeping with the art style that's on the majority of his novels. Any flaws? Anything I wish was different? If there's anything I wish there was a little bit more of, would be with the character of Felix, just a little bit more. And perhaps just a little more play with the island of Hiddensee that's brought up more towards the end of the book. But not really. It's perfectly fine the way it is. Yeah. Story about the Nutcracker, but less about the actual doll and more about what the Nutcracker represents. So yeah. Well done book. If I have to give it a number, sure, 4 out of 5. The second book is London Under by Peter Ackroyd. Fun, short little piece of nonfiction. It's under 200 pages and full of all the author's references and a handy index if you're looking for something specific. So what is this book about? Well, it's in the title. It's Under London. The author, it seems he did several biographies, one for London, one for the Thames. So I imagine he had a ton of research left over and decided, well, I'm just going to have fun with it, put it in this little book. Everything underneath London, the subways, the rivers, the crypts, the subway, everything that's been found and buried underneath. It's kind of hard to explain this one. It's London Under. The secret history beneath the streets. It's a fun little oddity. Like I said, a quick read. Fun fact, I started reading this in the middle of a power outage. No lights, just me, a flashlight, and this creepy book. Not creepy. It was kind of creepy when I was reading. At the time I was reading through the part about the crypts underneath. You know, full of fun, fascinating little tidbits. If you want to pair it with something nonfiction, I might suggest Midnight Never Come by Marie Brennan. I bought these two together through Sci-Fi Book Club years and years ago. London Under talks about the real-world physical stuff under London. Midnight Never Come talks about the fairy realm, the mythological realm underneath. So yeah, fun little read. 4 to 5. Wish it was a little bit longer, a little more detailed, but again, there are plenty of references for me if I want to go searching for something more specific. And lastly, 5 Total Strangers by Natalie Richards. This one was an impulse buy at Barnes & Noble, which I mentioned earlier. $5 at the cafe at Barnes & Noble. Well worth the $5. It's what I'd call a popcorn read, like a fun, thrilling, almost horror movie-esque in tone. It's precisely what I was expecting with all the brilliant cliched twists and turns that you find in psychological thrillers. Although, if I had known this was set at Christmas, I would have read it around Christmas time and not in the middle of January into February. But still, a fun, enjoyable read from an author I knew nothing about. Looks like she's got a few others out there, which might be keen to look up and read myself. A-okay. I probably classify this as young adult. It's not terribly long. It's under 300 pages. Exactly 302 pages. It doesn't overstay its welcome, I will say. So yeah, I'm boring. 4 out of 5. Yeah, if you enjoy psychological thrillers, you'll have fun with this one. Right. Right, that's all I have for now. Take care. Bye-bye.